Hi everyone, welcome to our radio podcast for a new world, where we are going to talk about NASA's plan to send remarkable people to Mars to create a new colony there. For today's episode, we will talk about our society, about how we have evolved, how we have changed with different contexts and situations, and what will happen to our society with a possible new colony on Mars? Grow or perish? Let's find out in this episode. Today we are going to answer two questions. How has our society changed? And do you think our society will grow or perish if we establish a colony on Mars? In both questions, we are going to add some more information to make a complete chapter talking about our society. We have also guessed she's a sociologist. She's going to give us information in this episode. For today, we have a special guest. She's a sociologist named Tanya Rudolph, and she's going to tell us about how this project can change people's perspective towards Mars.
First of all, thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here and share this information with you. Now, to be clear, imagine you have the chance to travel to a very remote place where no one has gone before to explore it. Discover new things and it could save humanity. However, this also means you will have to leave your family, friends, home where you maybe thinks thinking it's no enough reason to research this offer, but it is. Society have power over us since we were born. Even if we enough, people have a big impact on what they think. For example, you may agree with us about us, but what does your society say about it? Would you change your opinion because of it? Maybe. If you decide to do this, I mean to participate in this project, and society supports you, you will feel awesome like you're achieving a dream, but if they don't, you may fail. It's proven that support gives you more confidence about yourself. And no way, nowadays, it will be a very important factor. So if you came back on the earth with good news, people's behavior towards nerds will change in a possible positive way. Considering they aren't that in a factor about spending that amount of money on it, people will realize the opportunity to create life on Mars and they will try to collaborate and support NASA. How has our society changed? In the first place, the human being has always found himself in a continuous evolutionary stage, which will certainly last for thousands and thousands of years, which will lead us to one day that the human being will no longer see himself as he is currently and what he is. The same the same would happen with our society, not only talking about technology like flying cars or spaceships, but the context of life teaching, everything would change in a way that we could not understand today. Possibly, possibly giving us to understand that our society would always try to expand to other places, leaving the human begin to explore the unknown in this existence that we call life. Do you think our society will grow or perish if we establish a colony on Mars? Considering that Mars maintains an ecosystem very similar to that of Earth, it's The possibilities that the human space can grow and survive on the planet are vastly high. And also with the fact of being able to create technology that allows us to travel to Mars and settle there, it will be a clear thing that the human being is evolving with a simple fact of considering the idea to begin able to live on other planets of our universe. Since previously humanity had never considered something similar, and that only shows that we have both the need and the desire to evolve and improve. With all this said, I believe that going to Mars and establishing ourselves there will make us grow in a unimaginable way.
And now we're going to talk about topics related to it. What does the first group of our society to arrive to Mars need to take? We already have the skills and technology needed to take people to Mars. We just need to build it, says astrogeologist Jonathan Clerk from the Mars Society of Australia. The skills and technologies needed to get to Mars, such as space navigation, docking, and undertaking spacewalks, were developed during the Gemini missions to put a man of the moon in Apollo. How to survive a long-haul stint in space. Dr. Clerk admits more experiments will need to be undertaken aboard the International Space Station to furthermore improve our understanding of how the human body can adapt to microgravity. As part of research in future human missions to Mars, NASA and the Russian Space Agency have started keeping space station crew in orbit on year-long missions. We need to fill in the data points of how much exercise people will need. Do they need a special diet? Not really, but there are different types of food for this. This means that there is not natural food in Mars, but this doesn't mean we will be starving or will die because of hungriness. Of course, it is going to be different because we cannot have the same diet we have in the Earth, but we can do eat meat and vegetables. And when they run out, we will create farms in there that allow us to coexist.
How, how to supply fuel, water, oxygen, and food. One idea involves splitting the water frozen in the subsurface Martian permafrost into hydrogen and oxygen, both, both for use as propellant and for the crew to drink and breathe. You can also extract water from the Martian atmosphere or bring hydrogen from Earth and react that with the carbon dioxide atmosphere on Mars to make methane and oxygen, says Dr. Clark. Growing their own food has been a major moral boost for crew in both Antarctica and on space stations, he says. While Clark believes growing crops will be one of the research projects undertaken by the first humans on Mars, he curious how efficient it will be. To actually grow enough food to support people will require a substantial area of several hundred square meters per person.
In conclusion, our society will be greatly favored if we achieve our mission of traveling to Mars because we're destroying the Earth. And Mars is actually the only planet where we could live, and that's important for our next generations. So let's just trust NASA and the great work they do for the benefit of society. We hope you understand and entertain yourself with this information. Thanks for listening to us, and don't forget to listen to our next podcast about family and friends next week. Thanks.